video's journey, but I got to log
Oh.
out, and I'm always trying to, hello, how's it going? I'm just chatting away.
Hi.
Hello, welcome to Bio Journey Academy. My
Dad.
name is Anthony,
I'm Gabby.
and we are voice actors. Hopefully, we are definitely voice actors.
We are caffeinated voice actors. Yes.
Yes, we are. Speaking of which, I realized that in my coffee time, I don't ever talk about the coffee I'm drinking. And I think that's like, I mean, we have hit 406 episodes. I always say we, like I have a production. I don't
Well,
have a
it's
production.
you, but yeah, I gotcha.
I'm not as good as you. Gabby has a production team. I do not. I'm a loser in that sense. So
No,
I'm
you just figured out all the beep boops by yourself. It just means I couldn't do it by myself. That's all.
You're so humble. So I do think that either way, I need to start talking about the coffee I'm drinking because I just realized that. And
I agree.
yeah, that's sometimes. So, anyways, all that being said, it's wonderful to see you guys. Yes, Marcus, Bones
Coffee.
All right,
Bones
there you
coffee is
go.
good. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, we are, as always, real quick, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We've got a fun show for you today. I think Gabby she was telling me about what she wants to talk about. And I'm like, I said, I have a topic, but people are going to like yours way more. So why don't you tell us about this topic that you want to talk about?
So Bonnie Williams and I, Bonnie being a fellow voice actress and one of the coaches here at Avio's Journey, we coined this. I don't remember who came up with it. It might have been her. It might have been me. I don't know. But we coined this phrase and we started referring to people as assholes. Assholes. And an asshole is a very specific type of person in that they have a lot of questions, right? And the questions are good. They're great questions, but it's almost like they want you to do the work for them, right? Like there's so many questions and so many follow-up questions. You get the distinct impression they don't actually intend to put in the effort. And so we frequently tell people, right, don't be a voiceover asshole because nobody likes that person. We have all of us, me, Anthony, everybody at the Academy, everybody who's watching this live, we have busted our individual butts to get to where we are and to learn and to absorb the skills necessary to do this and to be here. And so it's a little frustrating when somebody is just like, hand me the keys to the kingdom, tell me all the things, and you're like, wait, no, you must walk the path yourself, right? And it's still one of the reasons why I love the word journey in so much of what we do, because that's it's a journey. We have to each traverse it, and by all means ask questions along the way. Of course, we're not saying not to, but be mindful of the fact that sometimes, right, in our eagerness, we can really sound like we're just expecting somebody else to hand it all over. And that's hard. And I know Anthony's been through it. I know I've been through it, right? Sometimes students are like, just tell me what to do and how to do. And you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, I love this topic. I think this is actually a good topic to discuss about how, as a student, you should potentially expect to learn or what to do with the information you get. I think that's a really good topic to talk about.
It is, because we talk so much about what to expect from a coach and what to expect from the teaching process and what expectations to put on workshops and to put on all these other things. But when do we turn the table and say, here's what you should be prepared for as the learner and as the student? it's funny because I know you've got horses and your daughter and your wife ride and all of that, and I've seen there's an article that I saved a long time ago because I love it, and it actually has to do with equestrian arts and working with horses, but the information was so valid just for teaching across the board that I kept it, and really it was kind of outlining this idea of coming to the table as a student with an open mind, coming as a blank slate, right? Not letting your previous knowledge or experience sort of override what you think you know. Um,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, and I mean, I think adults can sometimes lose track of that. We're not the sponges we were when we were children.
Mm-mm.
Everything is through the lens, right, of
Yes.
our experience.
No, absolutely. I would say so. It's a couple things I that you could do as we're talking about this, not to be an asshole. I'm just saying that.
It's so fun to
Kind of
say.
crazy. It's like, what did you say? Did you say the other one?
No,
I no, I did
asshole.
not. That's right.
Asshole.
That's
Yeah.
right. So I think that first and foremost, the information, like, I wanted to create a path that someone could follow, a singular path, right? And I know Gabby wanted to do the same. And we first off, every path, okay, there's going to be multiple paths to go wherever you want to go. But the thing is the path that is laid out in front of you or information that's given to you. Remember, and I know this is silly to say because I get that we get it, but remember, it still has to be walked, right? Meaning, like, you still have to go down the path, even though you might like. So I like to say, okay, look at there's the path, there's this. Look at all the way down there. You can see to the end. The thing is, though, is no matter what we do, you can't skip to the end. And I don't mean like skipping. You know what I mean, though. You
Well, it
can't
could be
skip
either.
over, right? You can't skip over all of the path.
Yeah.
You can see it,
Yeah.
right? And we can show that to you, but you can't skip over it. You said I'm using a lot of analogies. You skip, you know what I mean? You can't. So that's an important part,
Yeah.
right?
I
Does that
mean,
make
look, you
sense?
also can't shortcut it or,
Right.
like it just doesn't work. It doesn't. And if it did, believe me, we would have been all about it. Like
That's right.
we'd have been there. I'm sure that if Anthony and I really thought about it, we probably both have stories of an attempted shortcut that backfired spectacularly.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Oh yeah, and you know what I noticed too is that so I do notice there's a few, and it's just a few people who will ask a bunch of questions that are the same. So
Mm,
basically, like, they'll, if you ask a question, and now mind you, there's a kind of fine line, and maybe Gabby, you can go a little deeper into what you mean by this, but I've always been a proponent of asking questions. It's important to ask questions,
agreed.
right?
Totally.
But I think asking questions for trying to figure out how to not do the work, right, is kind of where we're going with this, right? Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's where you have to realize. So again, if you look at that and look at the path analogy, remember, your job as a student would be, and as a business owner, and I always thought about this because we work with a lot of people,
Mhm.
and finances are always a big part of what we can invest in our education or
Of
in things
course.
in general. So we're always talking about, well, that's something, maybe that's a good value, that might be a little too expensive, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But where I'm going with this is that your I've always tried to look at my education as an investment in myself, not the coach. Now, this is an important thing to think about, meaning that, like, let's say I hire Gabby to help me with my, commercial voiceovers, to really grow my business. What I am doing is I am actually, and let's say Gabby charges me, I'm just a couple $1,000s. And so I'm like, okay, so I spend the money. Here's the thing. This is where I'm going with all this. When I do it, I have learned that what I'm doing with that money is I trust myself to know that if I spend that money, I am spending it knowing that I'm going to do the work. This is an important part about this. Not that
Yes.
Gabby's going to open the floodgates for me. Now, I know she's going to help me a great deal, but I know this is where I think a lot of us struggle with confidence in ourselves. Is because, and I think a lot of people are afraid to invest sometimes because, like in their education, because we're afraid we're not going to do the work. And I realized that early on, I can't look at like investing in an education as I'm relying on the other person to make my dreams come true. I have to do it myself. I'm investing in information that I'm going to use. And if I don't use it, that's on me.
Well, it's
Does
a
that make sense? I don't know if
yeah.
that was kind of a deep.
No, I love it. There's a reason we're called coaches, because whether it's a sport, here's two real world examples that I deal with very regularly. My physical therapist and my therapist, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they both say the same thing. Results are based on the work you put in, right? That's all it is. And I've told my therapist many times, I'm like, you're really just a coach. You're a coach of emotions and thought processes. And she's like, absolutely. That's exactly right. But if you, right, or anybody else, right, doesn't do the work, the benefits will not be there. Melissa Harlow knows this better than anybody. She has a background in therapy. She knows this firsthand. Hi, Melissa. I see you. And, physical therapy, same thing. The number of times a physical therapist has been like, look, I can give you all the exercises and all the tricks in the world, but if you don't go home and follow this, you're not going to see it. It's not going to happen. And you're just going to prolong the problem.
Absolutely. Which then goes into the next part of that, which I do think is, we're talking heavily because with the topic today about the voice actor themselves, the student. Part of you and in your journey as a voice actor and a student is also finding the coach or coaches that meet what you need to move forward. Like, so Gabby talked about motivation. Maybe you need to find a coach that is all about motivating you. That's their thing. They are a motivator, not necessarily an educator. Maybe you have a lot of self-motivation, but you just need the knowledge of, what is this? What is that? How does that work? Right. And so you find a place to go that's all about that education. Maybe you're trying, like, do you see what I mean? So
Yeah.
there were that is really important to also know, because I used to say this a lot, do some and we talked about this. Maybe it's time we talk about it more down the road again. For the new year is about the coaches that you're choosing, right? Or how to find a coach, what to look for in a coach. I always say, don't just take, what you hear or see somewhere. Do some research.
Yeah.
Into the coaches. I mean, if you want to, like, for example, Gabby and I, if you want to know anything about it, just watch I don't even know how many of these we've done right now.
Oh my gosh. And I mean, we're both of us, we're so transparent on the web and with our own stories and channels and things. I mean, but like I go through it all the time where sometimes I see a webinar or a workshop being posted and it's like and I'm like, who is this person? Like where did they come from? And sometimes I'm pleasantly surprised, right? I'm like, oh, look at this. They've been kind of behind the scenes and doing this thing here, and that's really cool. And other times I'm like, I'm not convinced. I don't think this person has enough knowledge to carry this subject or this thing. Another problem we see a lot, and Anthony and I both, we see this, I mean, inside of the academy, there is a point where, and I believe all actors go through this. It's that critical junction right before someone goes from full-time student to full-time performer, right in there, where there is a different sort of coach that is needed.
Yes.
And that coach, very specifically, is the person that can help you deal with the imposter syndrome, the mental fortitude and preparation. Like I almost, honest to God, feel like that's the critical moment that somebody needs a voiceover therapist.
That's a really interesting thing, because I remember, so you may not know briefly my story, right? I started on my birthday. I saw a video about you could be an audiobook narrator, and I started down my journey. And after about 2 years, right, I quit my job. I was working full time as a teacher. I quit my job and went full time as a voice actor. And I'll never forget. It was. I remember telling my principal, I'm quitting or I'm leaving to go full time in my voiceover business. And we were sitting, I can remember I was sitting in our room, in my classroom, and she was there, looking at me and I wish you the best of luck. But she was very wonderful about it. But it was very frightening. It was very scary. And because you realize, if you logically think about what we do too, I mean, all of a sudden you go from a steady paycheck, especially as like certain jobs. I mean, you can get fired from anything, but like as a teacher, I mean, unless you do something really bad, you're not going to get fired ever. Okay. So, I mean, sadly, but it is what it is, right? So there's certain jobs where you will always have a paycheck.
Yeah.
And when you go away from that, you're right, it can be very scary. I remember sitting in the parking lot. Now, at the time, at the end of the year when I left, I thought I accomplished something incredible, and I did. But there is a lot of stuff going on, a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings, a lot of things to consider.
There's
right?
a paralysis
so
that
much,
happens to
so
a
much,
lot of
so
people.
much, and they won't take the leap too. So I think I was fortunate enough to have enough success in voiceover that it eliminated a lot of fears, because I was like, if I lose 50% of my income, I'm still going to be okay. Like, that's how I judged it. And then I have this amount of money in the bank. Like, so that's another thing. There's a lot. So that helps, working with somebody who's been through that transition, who made their own, like I made my own set of rules at the time to what I needed to make me feel comfortable to do it. Right.
But that's just it too. I think some personalities are more apt to take that leap and to just jump and to go, okay, I've prepared as much as I can. Whatever happens, happens. And then there's other people who just hover on the edge. And I've had over the years a couple of instances where I've had a few students that I've had to go boink and just push right over the edge, but they allowed me to. And then I've also seen, and this is the one that hurts my heart, I've seen countless students stay on that precipice and never take the leap and actually go backwards into whatever was comfortable, whatever they knew, because they were so afraid.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love this question. Professor Tracy, USA. Good morning from Rochester, Minnesota.
Professor Tracy, fellow educator.
What kind of coach are you guys? Of what are you talking about? We talk of crazy things.
Well, Professor.
Yeah. That's a good question. I think this is probably something we should ask everyone. Just what kind of, but it's interesting. Like, what kind of voice actor are you? That would be an interesting, right? And we've talked about that too, right? Like being able to, talk about your elevator pitch. But anyways, I can, I'll start with kind of coach that I am. I've always, so first off, one thing I realized, if you guys have ever done this, Simon Sinek, he's the guy who did that famous TED Talk, the most watched TED Talk, Start with Why, right? And it's like the whole idea was we buy things or we do things in life not because of what it is or how it works, but why we do it, because why we do something, right? That's what motivates us, and then the rest of it is just part of that,
right?
So I took his class many years ago, or his training, and because I was trying to find out, and it was, maybe I had an early midlife crisis. Look, I'm an actor, I'm dramatic, it is what it is. So I'm having a midlife crisis in my 20s. All right, anyways, my 20s, 30s. All right, if you can relate, put a comment down there. I can All right. I feel exposed right now, but it's okay. So, anyways, I took this class and I was the whole part about it is trying to figure out why you believe in what you believe, why you
Mm,
do what you want to do. I've always had this feeling inside of me up to this class and this business. I was trying to figure out why am I even like maybe and I think all of us have a question. Why are we
yeah.
here? What's our purpose? Right? Why? What's the
Right.
big why?
Why? Why?
You know what I mean? So I had did all this work, and I mean it's a journey that you go down with figuring out this why, like in your past and everything, all this
Mm,
kind of stuff. And one of the questions that struck me really interestingly was, what would you do if you were not paid to do it? What was the one thing you would do if you were
yes.
not paid?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I thought of everything that I did. And the answer I came up with was literally my most favorite thing to do in the world is to work with a person one on one and to see the light in their eyes when they realize something, when they experience an aha moment.
Mm,
When we do that together, when we discover something together, I love discovery. I love growth. And it was the one thing I would literally do no matter what. In fact, my children they're like, "Come on, dad, just stop." Because I'm just like, let me teach you this thing. They call them my dadisms or something. Like, I won't stop. My son has friends over, he's 18. He's like, "Oh my God, here he goes again." He tells me, because I just talk. Anyways, the thing is that I realized early on that I love to work with people individually to help them, in particular their journeys grow the way that they're going to grow, because everybody is different.
mm,
So I think the kind of coach I am is a person who likes to work with individuals who are trying to have passion and growth, and they want to grow their business, and they're willing to do any and everything it takes.
yeah.
I'm all in with that kind of
Yeah.
person. And we'll go down the journey because it's fun. That's the kind of person I am. I'm looking for those types of people to help them. And I think of Vio's journey. Sorry, I'm taking a lot of time. But I think of Vio's journey, right? Part of that was also to help more people who don't have a variety of schedules. Because like when I first started, I wasn't able to do a lot of coaching with other people. Like, I mean, to get coaching myself because I didn't have the time.
Mm,
And I think that was something that Avio's journey helps us a lot, because it helps with a lot of people who don't have all the time to work one-on-one all the time.
yeah.
What do you think, Gabby? That was a long-winded answer on my part.
I mean, but I get it. But I mean, you're passionate about it, so I would expect it to be a bit long-winded. I second a lot of what you said. I know for me, and I'll be super brief, um, it was not. I had so many experiences of my own, be it as an actor, be it in the corporate world, be it in broadcasting, of people giving advice that was supposed to be positive, coaching right, but was so mild, it was ineffective
Mm.
because they were afraid to say what they really meant. They were afraid to be very truthful with the student. And I was like, I don't want to be that person. I want my students to understand that what I say may be on the harsher side, but it's because if I believe no one else is saying it, then I feel like I have an obligation to, to be that person so that you have awareness, because
That's
awareness
totally
is
you.
everything.
That's totally you.
Yeah, we can't fix what we don't know. And if somebody is too timid to be truthful or to be upfront, then what good is it?
Mm.
And so that was always a big thing for me. And I mean, and that being said, I've softened a lot over the years. Like I've become way more tactful, I think, in that approach, but I'm still not afraid to tell people. And I mean, yeah.
I too, and also you're a great teacher. I mean, I think that
Oh, thanks.
part of whatever you do to find your coach or a group, or like for VO Journey Academy, etc.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's how you learn, and we try to find people who are really good teachers, because teachers and coaches, it's interesting. I always thought of a coach as a really good teacher, but not all coaches are necessarily. Some coaches are great motivators.
Yeah.
Some coaches tell you what to do,
right,
but they're not necessarily able to teach you. Not that they don't know how per se, but that's not their jam. So,
Yeah.
Again, that's why this journey of yours, all right, and then we'll let you go for today. A lot of it has to go with, I think, you also trying to find people you connect with.
Yeah.
From a coach standpoint.
Yep.
And to do a full circle. And remember, when you do find your coach, don't be an asshole. I wonder if people coming in, what did he just say? If they weren't here from the beginning.
Asshole, yes. So on that note, if you join Angela tomorrow, right? If you join Angela for her live tomorrow, go ahead and ask her what she thinks about assholes, and she'll probably be.
She's gonna be like,
"What is happening?
Dare you?" Thank you guys so much for watching. As always,
we will see you Wednesday.
Yes, we will see you Wednesday. Take it easy, right? Bye. Everybody. Goodbye.